Across the Board with Ian the Colonel back here on hawkradio.org and acrosstheboardradio.com. Now, let's talk about areas, regions. The Delmarva Peninsula, most people in the world have never heard about this.
Right.
But there are a lot of great things coming out of here. And one of them being Hawk Radio, the radio station that we broadcast on, and Across the Board. That's where we are located right now. Other things are a lot of great national and international bands that are playing around the world right now came from our area. Life on Repeat, we found the show being on one of them, yeah. And another, and this is my, God, I love this band. I can't tell you. Talk about wearing out a CD, if you know what a CD is. Passafire, love these guys. And we have Ted, the lead singer, with us right now, who is actually from our area. Ted, welcome home, man.
Oh, it's good to be home. What a small world, huh?
Yeah, it absolutely is, for sure, man. Again, Passafire, we saw you guys for the first time last year on Warped Tour in 2012 now already, man.
So we saw in 2011.
Yeah, 2011, and just every song, man, from start to finish. There's so many bands of your kind of reggae rock progressive type music, and there's so many bands of your genre that every song sounds the same. Even some big bands right now that have that same, which we won't name. But you guys, everything is different, man. And last summer I got Everyone on Every Night, and this album is incredible. My favorite song is Pre-Electricity, I'm going to go with
cool.
Yeah, love that tune, man. And Leave the Lights On is probably my second favorite. But there aren't any ones that I skip over, ever. It's not like, this one's not as good. It's not a banger. So, how do you do that? How do you have that consistent quality through every track?
Well, we throw out the bad ones.
So some stuff on the cutting room
don't
floor.
Go on the album.
Nice. Well, that'll do it.
Sometimes it's just that
I
simple.
don't know. The songwriting process since Will joined the band has been a very sort of, interesting blend of ideas and styles and approaches. And I feel like every single song gets a different treatment as far as how it's written. Sometimes it's the music first and the lyrics, sometimes lyrics and music, and sometimes it's an entire experience that translates into a song that, I don't know, it kind of just comes from somewhere. I can't really tell you where. But, I think being that particular song you're talking about, Pre-Electricity, is influenced by an experience that we've had on the road and here in front of me from that album. And, I say a good handful of our songs on all our albums are based on experiences that we've had on the road, just being out here and going to new places and kind of being unfamiliar. The song Unfamiliar on Submersible is also about, being out there in unfamiliar, uncharted lands and being greeted by awesome people everywhere we go and seeing, new things and being able to go walk around in beautiful places, beautiful natural environments, and seeing them up close when we've only seen them in textbooks before,
Absolutely. Another thing with you guys is there's so many bands that I listen to that I have to be in the mood to listen to them. I have to be in like a jazz mood to get amped up and listen to this, or I need to listen to this to calm down and be in a relaxed mood. I can honestly listen to you guys in any zone, man. It keeps you like even keel and mellow, and I love it. But I can use it to get me going as well. Really, really dig it. Start From Scratch is the newest album, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so this is with your own label now. You guys own your own label, Flame Guy Records. A little bit of you've had several, I guess, lineup changes, but now you've got Mikey de Guzman, right? Did I say that right?
Yep, Mike de Guzman.
Mike de Guzman in the band now on the keys, and you worked with Paul Leary on this. Who's worked with Butthole Surfer, Sublime, Meat Puppets, friends of the show. What is that new experience like with the new label, with a new producer? What is that? Change the process?
It all kind of fell together because the lyrics Start From Scratch is at the end of that song. It's really not. It kind of just fell into place that was the name of the album, but it really kind of encompassed the entire experience of getting a new keyboard player in the band, starting fresh with our own label, and sort of coming at it at a different angle with a producer in the studio, in the best studio at the Sonic Ranch. The last one, I'm not going to say it's less good, but we recorded in a smaller studio that was sort of like a satellite studio, and this time we went into like the real deal professional studio with a producer.
Okay.
And Paul is the kind of guy that's not necessarily trying to change your ideas and change your direction as far as the music you're playing. He's just trying to conduct the sound into the recording device the best way possible and make it sound exactly how you want it to sound, or exactly how you want it to sound, not exactly how he wants it to sound, or exactly how he thinks it should sound.
Translating your
Paul
vision.
really served as just somebody that we could count on and trust to be like, here's the sound I want, and trust that it was going to come out like that in the end, and it did. And so the whole experience of starting a new label and all that came about when we left Law Records. There was no beef or anything between us and Pepper. We just felt like it was time to sort of step up and do everything ourselves, just because it's possible in this day and age. There's no reason not to, and that's sort of what they did with Law Records. So there was no bad blood on that regard, and it was just the next step we needed to take in order to sort of own ourselves and own our own creativity. And that's really important nowadays, because you can actually end up in a situation where you don't own anything that you create, and it's just ridiculous. Yeah. But this was our chance to sort of step out and say, we're going to do this, and we're not trying to sign other bands right now or anything. I don't think we ever will, really.
Yeah, and you actually hit right into my next question, was about being on an independent label and doing your own work. So I'll move on to my next one, because you answered it absolutely perfectly. What is, when you're doing that sound, you come up with that sound like E had alluded to earlier. It is a relaxing, it's a chill album. I mean, you don't have to be in a mood to do that. Did you get that from some of your influences, or were some of the bands you heard growing up that you listened to and you said, I don't feel relaxed enough, I don't feel like it's a mellow album all the way through that I can really enjoy? Did you hear something and wanted to do something different, or did you pick out something and say, that's the sound we're looking for?
I always put it as like, basically, I think we were all, Nick and I especially, when Nick and I were starting the band with the other original members, we were very much influenced by the band John Brown's Body. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Heard of them, yep.
They're absolutely amazing. And when Will was joining the band, like, he had gotten into them too, and a friend of Nick and Will's from Indiana actually introduced them to John Brown's Body, so it was kind of word of mouth thing. And we had been listening to Soja and Slightly Stupid and Pepper and all that stuff, but when we heard John Brown's Body, it was like a collective experience where we all just looked at each other and said, okay, let's do something like this. Let's get this kind of music in our lives somehow. And so we started to write songs in the style of what we thought we were writing, exactly like John Brown's Body. But of course, like you said, our influences from being kids and growing up and listening to Nirvana and Offspring and a whole slew of bands I can name right now from the mid '90s, like alternative rock bands, that Green Day, just all the harder stuff that we were exposed to as middle school and high schoolers. We couldn't deny that we wanted to rock out also, so we sort of blended this love for John Brown's Body sound with a love for alternative rock, hard rock, progressive rock, the Police, the Clash, those older reggae rock bands that infused a lot more rock than reggae into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Those were huge influences for us, for sure.
Yeah, definitely see the example with the Police. But you mentioned Soja as well, and I know they're a big band that everyone's really kind of putting a lot of momentum behind, but to be honest with you, I feel like the momentum should be behind you guys. I mean, if I'm going to go to a show, I'd rather hear Passafire than Soja, and I'm not trying to knock on Soja.
By the way, Soja, another local band out of Arlington,
Virginia. Yeah, they're out of D.C.
Yep.
So
yeah, so I mean...
that was influential from a young age because, growing up in Ocean City, they would come down. I actually didn't even hear them until I went to college, but then when I came home one time, they were playing at Secrets or something.
Nice.
I went and saw them, and I was like, wow, that's a group of guys doing what I would like to do. I'd like to go out and play reggae to other people, you know, over, you know, far away from home. And then we eventually met up with them, and we've played shows with Soja and sort of become acquaintances. I would say friends, because I don't have any of their phone numbers in my phone, but like we've become acquaintances with the members of the band, and they are all very cool people. And it's been cool to sort of come up from the same area, but like, you know, I moved down to Savannah and then come back, and like, you know, we talk about how we're all from the same area. And it's weird. The Ja Works is from Baltimore, D.C. area.
Another great rock reggae band from here. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a funny thing. You don't have to be from Jamaica,
from like
one of the islands.
Tropical, yeah.
Yeah, you could be from Salisbury, Ocean City, D.C. even. You know, it's funny. Let's talk about, you guys all met at Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD, down there in Georgia. How does going to a specialized art school like that, how does that change your education? I know you didn't go to another, you know, normal public university, I guess, but what is that specialized education like? And I know that sometimes schools like that, I happen to know Savannah College of Art and Design recently dropped some athletics programs because they have some budget concerns, because they're a private school. Sometimes that they have ups and downs. You know, what is it like going to a school such as?
SCAD was a really awesome time. I had a really good time at SCAD. As far as my classes and my professors are concerned, everybody was very helpful in focusing me on exactly what I wanted to do. And as far as specialized study, I studied sound design because I wanted to be able to know how to record myself, but I also wanted to be able to know how to do something more than just record music. In case music didn't work out for me, I could do, you know, TV or web design, as far as do sound design for stuff like that.
For sure.
And what's funny is I actually applied to Lion and Fox Studios, which is up in D.C., where Revolution and Revolution and Groundation and Soja all have recorded. And I think Israel Vibration has done recording with Jim Fox up there too. So I did my research, and I was like, I want to work for this guy who records all these reggae bands. And I applied to them. I didn't get in, or I didn't get a response whatsoever. And so I sort of just focused on the band. But at that point, a lot of my professors and a lot of Adam's professors, our original keyboard players, also from D.C. actually, he was taking sound design classes and sort of influenced me to change my major from photography, which is what I originally went for, to sound design. And when that happened, we both sort of just focused on recording songs all the time. We told our professors, like, we're trying to have a full-length album by the end of our time here at school. And a lot of our professors allowed us to turn in music instead of actual projects for classes, because
that's sick.
They believed in us, and they knew that we were doing something that we believed in. So,
and they want free tickets in the future.
So what?
I said they want free tickets in the future, huh?
Yeah, we still remain in touch with some of our professors from school, because they were all very helpful in allowing us to do our thing. And, you know, we all succeeded throughout high school with our grades, even though, or not high school, excuse me, college. Even close to the end, when we were touring a lot on the weekends, it was sort of easy to go ahead and do the work, because most of the work we were doing towards the end was just recording. So we would come back, set up our gear here at my house, record some songs, turn them in as homework, and then go out and do shows for the weekend. So it really helped us sort of develop our touring and our fan base in the beginning.
Ted, if you feel like you had 10, 15 minutes left on the face of this earth, you know, because of the coming apocalypse of 2012 or for whatever reason, what would be the last song you would want to hear or perform on the way out?
Man, that's a heavy question.
We try.
You know, I think I would say I would want to hear Black Diamond Heavy's record, or perform the song "Biding My Time."
Oh, that's a good call too.
I don't know if you've heard it. Have you heard it?
I've heard. No, I'm just saying the name of the song, "Biding My Time," sounds good. I haven't heard the song, but I like the title of it. I mean,
I guess the title does make sense too.
Yeah. No, I'll have to check it out now.
I didn't even think about that. I just thought about it. It's a song that I would definitely, in any kind of last minute situation, if I was about to be murdered or something, and they said one song, I would probably choose that one just because that's, I don't know. I heard it one day on tour, and I can tell you exactly, we were in Rock Hill, Illinois.
Okay.
And there was some bar that the bartender was just getting fed up, and I was sort of hungover from the night before. I was sitting there on my computer trying to do something on Facebook, or so, just getting frustrated with Facebook events or something. And I was just feeling down, and he put this CD on, and it was the first song on there, and I walked over and I said, "Hey man, what is that first song that you played?" Like, "Oh, this band, Black Diamond Heavies, they're from Tennessee. They came in here last week. They're not really a big band, but they came in here last week. It's just a drummer and a keyboard player, and the singer is a keyboard player. He sounds like Louis Armstrong, sort of Tom Waits.
Nice.
Louis Armstrong kind of sound. Check it out, Black Diamond Heavies.
Yeah, we're
Biding My Time.
We're looking them up for sure. We'll try to get them on as well. That's so Biding My Time. We'll have to look into that and get that track in the library here. Sounds good. Well, I know you guys are on tour all the time in our area where Colonel and I are both from, and you're from down here in the Delmarva Peninsula. You guys play Annapolis a lot. You're coming up in
we've never played Annapolis. It's our first time playing Annapolis coming up
in July. Yeah, you're playing at the Whiskey, which will be a great show. I believe it's an 18 and over show as well. I could be wrong. I believe that's correct. Yeah, okay.
You guys play Jam and Java a lot too.
Jam and Java.
We have
Virginia
done Jam and Java and 8x10 in Baltimore, but we haven't been to Annapolis. So I'm excited to go there.
And you guys actually, tour all over the country. So PassafireTheBand.com is the website. Again, PassafireTheBand.com.
Like pass a fire.
Yeah.
Not
exactly.
like the
thing when you give a baby. Yeah. Or Facebook.com/Passafire. So you can keep up with everything about the new album, start from scratch. Again, out on Flame Guy Records. And all of their touring. We look forward to catching up with you guys, hopefully at the Whiskey. Would love to see that show. Love what we saw last year at Warped Tour as well. We're looking forward to it. So good luck with the new album. He's the Colonel, I'm E. We shall be back in a few minutes here on Across the Board here on hawkradio.org.
And acrosstheboardradio.com.